That's crazy.
Here are 5 reasons to get excited about Delta Force. The game is set to be released in Q4 of this year as an early access, and the next time it will be playable is during the upcoming Steam Fest in mid-October, so 1 month from now. No word yet on whether the game will be released at that time or soon after that Steam event. And no, I am not being paid for what you are about to hear and see in this video. Here we go. As we all know, there is a huge lack of creativity in the Western gaming industry nowadays, and current games are nothing but copies of their previous versions. See Call of Duty and Battlefield, for example. Either lack of creativity or lack of cojones, as the big sharks companies prefer to stick to what they make the most money with and don't risk too much in creating something new and different. Imagine an open world dice game with extractions and the Battlefield assets, for example. How awesome would that be? Alternatives have come from the East or Far East in recent years with different types of games, such as the already old DayZ or Scum, to name just 2 survival games, Escape from Tarkov and other similar extraction shooters designed to quench that thirst the players have for more than just the pew-pews and that team deathmatch. Unfortunately, this is something that the big companies do not seem to fully understand. Not that these new game developers have reinvented the wheel with completely new and original games. It is difficult, or rather impossible, to create a shooter with modern weapons, and these modern weapons are bamboo sticks instead of M4s, which shoot potatoes instead of metal bullets. You get a point, right? A modern shooter is made with almost the same kind of weapons, vehicles and such assets. It's impossible to attract the FPS player base that loves these type of games with ridiculous weapons like broomsticks and rubber ducks instead of the already established shooter assets and that modern weaponry. This is where Delta Force comes in my opinion, because these developers decided to take inspiration from all these games we love and created Delta Force. You can call it copying instead of inspiration if you like. The Chinese are world famous for copying things, but this is how they learn their craft after all. And that brings us to the second reason why we should keep an eye on Delta Force. The game brings together elements from a number of popular games, including the movement set from Call of Duty and Battlefield, weapon customization and the extraction aspects from EFT. It also incorporates gameplay, tactics and concepts from the Cycle, as well as looting and grinding system from various games. The mission system is always there to give you something to do, because let's face it, we all know that team deathmatch isn't enough anymore. Delta Force has taken many of these features and improved them, making them more user-friendly and intuitive. For instance, the way you use your inventory or stash is much easier and more casual than in Tarkov. Customizing a weapon, using the fire range, upgrading your character, and the progression system in the Battlefield mode are all features that were very well received by the player base. A very important aspect, this one, as the majority of the player base of a game is not made out of streamers and content creators who have nothing else to do than just play the game in front of their audiences. The player base is made by people with school and jobs, players who don't have all the day, all the time to do the grind. And this does Delta Force very well, as it is very easy to get into some of the games solo or with friends and complete some basic objectives, be it simple leveling up, just some in-game missions, especially in their Battlefield mode. On top of that, missions are very visible on the map and relatively easy to understand and perform, so no problem there. In the future, the addition of current task list as a visual would be amazing. Hopefully some of the devs are watching the video. Additionally, The UI is self-explanatory, not too complicated or crowded. Your teammates are marked and are easy identifiable. The map is interactive and your map inputs can be seen by your teammates. You can mark and target locations or enemy positions. All those casual aspects seem to be there. Another aspect is the fact that the game will be free to play. Yes, there are going to be microtransactions, but the devs assured us these ones are not going to increase the pay-to-win factor, meaning this will be weapon camo packs and accessories and other such features. It remains to be seen how much microtransactions will influence the game and what the prices will be, because the final game has not been released yet, but progression is pretty far off, as according to the devs, they are already working on Season 4, so 3 seasons are done already. Hopefully these things are going to come at reasonable prices and the devs will not make the same mistake as the Cycle, for example, where a weapon skin pack was $20 or close to that. But based on some of the videos I have seen and based on the prices of such packages in other games, we are probably going to have the same issues. Fingers crossed here. Also, being free to play can be a negative, but since we are talking about reasons to keep an eye on the game, we're talking about the positive stuff. Let's leave hackers and other things for a different video for now. Fortnite is also a free-to-play game and a leader when it comes to active players. It is a different player base though. Nevertheless, it's a free game. Like I said before, Delta Force has 3 seasons worth of content already prepared, according to the devs, which says a lot about their confidence in the project. Even though the game caters to the more casual player base, the grind is also there for those ones who want to commit and go the extra mile. I have played the closed test for about 80 hours so far, and still had lots of missions to complete and other objectives. The game has a bunch of cool items which are either worth selling to make in-game currency or worth keeping for trades or crafts. What I also found phenomenal was that desire for exploring not only the new map, Space City for example, but also checking out containers, safes, weapon crates, trash bins, sewers, and even cuckoo's nests for rare and valuable items. The devs understood to promote this looting aspect throughout the whole game and how important this is for players who not only like PvP but also rely on making money the other way. Having in-game events with all their secondary effects or consequences is also very cool. On top of this, the way you customize your character, add your equipment, modify your weapon, use the firing range are very intuitive and enjoyable as well. It's a pleasure admiring your new unlocked camos and prepare your loadout for the next raid. Being able to play with 2 extra friends and being able to tell who is phenomenal as well. There is a carry function in case reviving on the spot is very dangerous. You can communicate with your team in-game in case you play with random teammates. It remains to be seen what the first Battle Pass and the first season will bring out, but I am very excited for that grind. Here is an extra reason, although I could talk half an hour more, about the positives of Delta Force. Even though the game was or is in an alpha state, it was surprisingly stable during the tests. I ran it for more than a week on Extreme until I decided to switch to Custom, not because it didn't run anymore, but because I thought I did not need Extreme anymore. The game ran perfectly fine on normal settings as well. And you can see by the footage I added, graphics look very good, the world is colorful, realistic and enjoyable. Performance-wise and in this current development phase, Delta Force is way ahead of other games which promised so much from the beginning and disappointed as soon as they got released. In my opinion, it can only go up from here. And like I said, there is way more to say about how enjoyable and how much of a pleasant surprise Delta Force was during the alpha tests, and I did not even mention the campaign, Delta Force game modes, the different maps and the future content and even more. We can talk more in other videos, I guess. What are you expecting this year? And if you have played Delta Force, what did you like the most? Are you as excited as I am for this project? Leave your input below and don't forget to like the video if you found it interesting. Peace out.